in 2015. In addition, the AEC Strategic Plan 2026-2030 is also a successor to the AEC Blueprint 2025 that was also part of the Kuala Lumpur Declaration and launched in 2015. The AEC Strategic Plan provides ASEAN an opportunity to reset our landscape that evolves beyond conventional globalization. I'm confident that the AEC Strategic Plan will consider the future dynamic needs of the region and developments of global megatrends in harnessing opportunities for a sustainable and inclusive growth for the region. As the chair of ASEAN 2025, priorities of the AEC Strategic Plan had also been incorporated into our 18 Priority Economic Deliverables, or PED. This is for 2025, which we hope will kickstart the onward progress of key initiatives in the next 5 years, including enhancing intra-ASEAN trade and investment through conclusion of the upgrade negotiations on ASEAN Trade in Goods and Agreement, ATIGA, and the landmark ASEAN Digital Economy Framework Agreement, or DEFA. Establishing robust external engagements with key dialogue partners to diversify and strengthen ASEAN's growth, including the Joint Declaration on Economic Cooperation between ASEAN and GCC, and the Joint Statement of the ASEAN GCC China, as well as the signing of the upgraded ASEAN-China FTA 3.0 and the substantial conclusion of the review of ASEAN-India Trade in Goods Agreement, or ITIGA, by this year. Ensuring that ASEAN remains attractive and relevant for businesses and sectoral industries through advancements of initiatives in sustainable investments, energy cooperation, enhanced ASEAN Power Grid, or APG, and frameworks for integrated semiconductor supply chain, implementation of the ASEAN EV roadmap, as well as an establishment of an ASEAN safety network for artificial intelligence, or AI. So let me assure you that Malaysia is committed to a full and effective implementation of the AEC Strategic Plan 2026-2030 and its successive 5-year iterations to 2045 to ensure ASEAN's position in the world grows from strength to strength in the years to come. Thank you.
On behalf of the Philippines and the Department of Trade and Industry, I warmly congratulate the ASEAN community on the launch of the ASEAN Community Vision 2045 and the ASEAN Economic Community Strategic Plan for 2026 to 2030. We commend Malaysia's leadership through Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, and we are proud that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. joined other ASEAN leaders in endorsing this vision last May. This new strategic plan reflects our shared aspiration for an ASEAN that is innovative, inclusive, and future-ready. It lays the groundwork for deeper integration, supporting digital economies, sustainable industries, and stronger regional supply chains. Most importantly, it brings ASEAN closer to its people by creating opportunities that uplift the lives across the region. The Philippines actively contributed to this plan, ensuring our national priorities and people's aspirations are reflected in ASEAN's path forward. As we prepare to chair ASEAN in 2026, we reaffirm our full commitment to turn this vision into action. Together, let us build a stronger, more resilient ASEAN that delivers for all, ensuring that no one is left behind. Thank you.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Brunei Darussalam is pleased to welcome the ASEAN Economic Community Strategic Plan 2026 to 2030 as a timely and ambitious blueprint to guide our region through the next phase of its economic integration. This strategic plan reflects ASEAN's key economic priorities, advancing a seamless single market, accelerating digital transformation, enabling sustainable finance, and reinforcing ASEAN's position in global value chains. More importantly, it reaffirms our shared commitment to regional cooperation by enhancing regulatory alignment, strengthening supply chains, and boosting crisis readiness. ASEAN can build a more resilient and future-ready economy. Brunei Darussalam stands ready to work with all ASEAN member states to ensure that the strategic plan delivers meaningful outcomes for our people and our region. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to share Cambodia's strong support and commitment to the ASEAN Economic Community Strategic Plan 2026-2030. This strategic plan is the clear and timely roadmap for ASEAN's future, marking a crucial moment for all of us in deepening our economic integration through innovation, digital transformation, sustainable development, and a more connected, inclusive region. Cambodia is committed to implementing these strategic goals, particularly in developing our green industries, supporting our MSMEs, and investing in the digital economy. We will continue to champion connectivity, sustainability, and innovation both nationally and as an active ASEAN member. Through strong regional collaboration, we firmly believe that ASEANs can withstand not only global shocks, but also lead the way in sustainability and thrive as a united community. We are ready to take concrete steps alongside ASEAN to realize this ambitious vision and to ensure that it delivers tangible benefits to our people. Thank you.
As the AEC Council Lead of Indonesia, I am proud to continue our steadfast commitment with fellow ASEAN ministers as we advance toward a new era of resilient, innovative, and inclusive region under EAC Strategic Plan 2026-2030. We aim to foster our long-standing purpose of deepening regional economic integration, embracing sustainable and digital transformation, as well as strengthening support for supply chain to more ensure equitable growth for all. These endeavors have set a foundation for seamless movement of goods, services, investment, and skilled labor within our region. Indonesia is committed to fostering collaboration across ASEAN as we continuously unlock new resources of growth and empower our people and businesses. Together, we are building a future-ready ASEAN, dynamic, connected, and responsive to emerging opportunities ahead. Ultimately, it is essential to outline our practical direction as we advance toward profound mission for our shared future. Thank you.
On behalf of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, I would like to extend our sincere congratulations on the remarkable and successful launch of ASEAN Economic Community Strategic Plan 2026-2030. This new strategic plan reflects our shared commitment to building a resilient, competitive, inclusive, innovative, and sustainable regional economy. Over the past years, ASEAN has achieved remarkable progress through concrete and strategic measures, such as advancing trade facilitation via the ASEAN Single Window, significant tariff elimination, deepening liberalization in services and investment, increasing custom efficiency, harmonization of standards. These efforts have laid foundations to strengthen regional integration, which led to enter the global value chains and to build more cohesive and connected economic community. Through the implementation of the AEC Blueprint 2025, Myanmar has benefited tangible outcomes, including increased trade and investment, strengthened connectivity, shared technical and knowledge in various sectors, and enhanced access to both ASEAN and global markets. Looking ahead, over our future AEC Strategic Plan 2026-2030 will carry forward the memorandum of the implementation of AEC Blueprint 2025. The new plan will continue the agenda on deepening regional integration, accelerating digital transformation and innovation, enhancing sustainability and inclusivity, and strengthening ASEAN external economic relations.
Good morning. Singapore is pleased to support the ASEAN Economic Community Strategic Plan 2026 to 2030. This is our first roadmap towards realizing the ASEAN Community Vision 2045. The AEC Strategic Plan sets a strong foundation for ASEAN to respond with unity and with clarity of purpose to deepen regional economic integration, both amongst us and with our external partners, amidst an uncertain, complex, and fast-changing world. The EEC strategic plan will also position ASEAN to seize opportunities, build resilience, and address common challenges in areas such as sustainability, digital innovation, and energy resilience. We have also committed to reviewing our progress every 5 years to stay agile, relevant, and fit for purpose in a constantly evolving world. What makes ASEAN unique is our unity amidst our diversity and our resolve to move forward together towards our shared vision of a connected, forward-looking, and inclusive economic community. Thank you for sharing your ideas today, and let's keep up the momentum and help shape a brighter future for the ASEAN community together. Thank you.
I would like to congratulate the success of our AEC since 2015, and we are looking ahead to the Vision 2045. Amid shifting global challenge, this vision will guide us toward a more advanced region. Today, ASEAN ranks as the 5th largest economy in the world. We should continue strong partnership with key partners through cooperation and FTAs. As we moving toward digital world, ASEAN Digital Economy Framework Agreement will help strengthening economic integration and ensuring our competitiveness in a technology-driven era. Sustainability is a new source of competitiveness. Climate-responsive initiatives will unlock green opportunity and support our path to carbon-neutral future. Thailand is committed to supporting ASEAN to achieving our goal of becoming the world's 4th largest economy in the near future. Thank you.
Trước hết, với tư cách là trưởng nhóm đặc trách cấp cao về hội nhập kinh tế ASEAN của Việt Nam, tôi xin chúc mừng Malaysia, nước chủ tịch ASEAN 2025, đã tổ chức thành công hội nghị cấp cao ASEAN lần thứ 46 vào ngày 26-27 tháng 5 năm 2025 tại Malaysia vừa qua. Và nhân dịp này, các lãnh đạo cấp cao của ASEAN đã ký kết tuyên bố Kuala Lumpur về ASEAN 2045, tương lai chung của chúng ta, và thông qua tầm nhìn cộng đồng ASEAN 2045 cùng 4 kế hoạch chiến lược, trong đó có kế hoạch chiến lược của cộng đồng kinh tế ASEAN giai đoạn 2026-2030 và tầm nhìn đến 2045. Việt Nam đánh giá cao những nỗ lực của các cơ quan chuyên ngành ASEAN và tất cả các bên liên quan trong việc xây dựng kế hoạch chiến lược mới. Thông qua cách tiếp cận toàn diện và mang tính cộng đồng, ASEAN đã tiến hành các cuộc tham vấn sâu rộng, lắng nghe tiếng nói và nguyện vọng từ mọi thành phần trong xã hội. Điều này đảm bảo rằng khuôn khổ chiến lược mới thực sự phản ánh nhu cầu và kỳ vọng của người dân chúng ta, để không ai bị bỏ lại phía sau. Kế hoạch chiến lược cộng đồng kinh tế ASEAN giai đoạn 2026-2030 đề ra 6 mục tiêu chiến lược, 44 mục tiêu cụ thể và 192 biện pháp chiến lược nhằm xây dựng một cộng đồng kinh tế ASEAN hành động, bền vững, đổi mới, thích ứng, có khả năng chống chịu và bao trùm. Các nội dung này bao gồm việc củng cố thị trường chung, thúc đẩy tăng trưởng xanh và bao trùm, đẩy nhanh chuyển đổi số và xây dựng lực lượng lao động sẵn sàng cho tương lai. Các ưu tiên này phản ánh sự chuyển dịch hướng tới tăng trưởng chất lượng cao, trong đó lấy tính bền vững, đổi mới, bao trùm và lấy người dân làm trung tâm, là cốt lõi cho phát triển khu vực. Việt Nam tin tưởng rằng kế hoạch chiến lược này sẽ là nền tảng quan trọng để ASEAN hiện thực hóa tầm nhìn đầy tham vọng, trở thành nền kinh tế lớn thứ 4 thế giới vào năm 2045. Chúng tôi khẳng định cam kết mạnh mẽ sẽ tiếp tục hợp tác chặt chẽ với tất cả các quốc gia thành viên ASEAN để hiện thực hóa tầm nhìn này, vì một cộng đồng kinh tế ASEAN kiên cường, năng động và thịnh vượng. Xin trân trọng cảm ơn.
Greetings from Timor-Leste. As we look forward, the ASEAN Economic Community Strategy Plan on 2026 to 2030. It's clear that ASEAN is a place and strong to focus on building a sustainable, inclusive and resilient regional economy. Through digital innovation, green growth, deeper integration and investment in people. For Timor-Leste, these priorities are deeply meaningful As we continue our journey to full ASEAN membership, we see tremendous opportunity to align our national development with ASEAN's vision, creating jobs, attracting investment, and empowering our communities, especially youth and women. Regional collaboration is key. No country can face today's global challenges alone. Together, we are stronger. Timor-Leste is proud to be a part of shared journey. We look forward to contributing and benefiting from a stronger ASEAN under the Vision 2045, one that truly leaves no one behind. Together, through the ASEAN Economic Community 2026 to 2030, let us move forward, not as 10+1, but as 11. United in purpose, united in action, united as ASEAN. Thank you very much.
ASEAN stands at a defining moment. We have built a $3.9 trillion economy, underpinned by growing trade, investment, and stronger regional connectivity. The AAC Blueprint 2025 has delivered real progress and unlocked new opportunities across our region. But the world is changing rapidly, and we must stay ahead. The AAC Strategic Plan 2026-2030 charts our path forward. It defines our priorities, aligns our efforts, and reaffirms our commitment to a resilient, innovative, dynamic, and people-centered ASEAN, one that is equipped to lead and thrive in a more complex and competitive world. I join my fellow AAC Council of Ministers in marking the milestone, and I invite all of you to work with us as we shape the next phase of ASEAN's economic journey together. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that was our AAC Council Ministers. And now I have the honor of inviting Yang Berhormat Senator Tengku Datuk Seri
Meeting Minister to deliver his opening remarks.
Thank you. Excellencies from ASEAN member states and dialogue partners who's joining us virtually. I was told there's a few of you on the call. Yang Berhormat Liu Chintong, our Deputy Minister, Dato' Hanafi, Deputy Secretary General of BT, Excellency Attorney Alan Kepti, Under Secretary, Department of Trade and Industry of the Philippines, Her Excellency Tiffany McDonald, Australia's Ambassador to ASEAN, Dr. Ahmad Zafarullah Abdul Jalil, the Director of ASEAN or Integration Monitoring Directorate, and Mr. Shamir Kanal, the Cooperation Area Lead for ASEAN, GIZ. First of all, thank you for your presence today. A very good morning. I was just telling Excellency that I gave a few opening remarks during the video, so I think I've said already what I wanted to say, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say now. But again, thank you for your presence here, physically and virtually, at the Regional Socialization of the ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC, Strategic Plan for the ASEAN Community Vision 2045. We feel privileged, of course, BT feel privileged to host this crucial stakeholder engagement session. This, of course, has been made possible with the support from ASEAN Secretariat, so thank you very much. And also Australia for ASEAN Futures, and GIZ, or is it GIZ? GIZ. Okay, GIZ. As well as our private sector partners, as you can see. Really your contributions are critical to the success of ASEAN's economic integration and future achievements. So a big thank you to all of you. So today's program is a follow-up to the signing of our Kuala Lumpur Declaration on ASEAN 2045, our shared future. It was done by our leaders at the 46th ASEAN Summit. This was in May, 26th of May, recently, which also marked the launch of the ASEAN Community or ASEAN Economic Community Strategic Plan 2026-2030. So our key objective today is to socialize this AEC strategic plan, which reflects a shared commitment to shaping a resilient, inclusive, and forward-looking ASEAN for the next 5 years. So I believe the ASEAN Secretariat and MITI have put together a robust engagement program with many panelists, many esteemed panelists, and regional experts to help highlight the opportunities and potential of ASEAN's next phase of economic integration. I was told there's around 600 attendees in this forum, whether virtually or in person. So we appreciate your time and expertise to help us clearly outline the tangible benefits of better economic integration to businesses, to civil society, to academia, and in fact all stakeholders in ASEAN. So ladies and gentlemen, at its core, the ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC, envisions ASEAN as a single market and production base. You know, you want to be highly competitive, equitably developed, and fully integrated into the global economy. Indeed, ASEAN has progressively embraced economic liberalization since our establishment, that was in 1967, with the creation of the ASEAN Free Trade Area, that was in 1992, that was a key milestone. Since then, effort has continued and continued at pace, deepening trade integration, encouraging interdependence in goods and services, facilitating productive flows of foreign investments, especially foreign direct investments, and then strengthening ASEAN's position in global supply chains. However, globalization, once the driving force behind ASEAN's integration into the global value chains and our steady economic growth, is fast being upended by recent geopolitical tensions as well as trade and tariff wars. So as the global order is being reshaped, to me the only certainty is uncertainty. Of course, this is not conducive for business growth and investor confidence. This in turn poses serious risks for ASEAN's growth, resilience, security, and long-term potential. So ladies and gentlemen, amid those challenges, ASEAN must recalibrate its post-2025 economic integration framework. So today's changing landscape calls for agility over aggressive growth and resilience over radical expansion. So in achieving that aim, ASEAN member states' collective response must be calm, it must be collected, and also must be calibrated. So to that end, as ASEAN chair, Malaysia has convened various engagement sessions with economic ministers and dialogue partners to chart a coordinated approach that will continue to shape ASEAN's external engagements. Indeed, it is such coordination that has seen ASEAN grow steadily over the past decade, averaging 4.4% annually. If you look at ASEAN, we are a big market. We have a strong 680 million market. We have market in terms of talent, young talent as well. And coupled with these principles of neutrality and centrality, ASEAN is well positioned to play a bigger role in global supply chains, drive global trade, and attract more investments. ASEAN also offers a stable, predictable environment for various businesses to thrive, and all these features that businesses and investors desperately need, but features which other regions cannot easily replicate. And those attributes are set to help ASEAN become the world's fourth largest economy by 2030. So these strong ASEAN fundamentals assure us that the rest of the world may crack under the pressure of escalating geopolitical tensions. ASEAN will continue to strive and thrive thanks to its economic and supply chain complementarities, as well as the spirit of inclusivity and sustainability. So, to those considering doing business and investing in ASEAN, let me assure you that regardless of where global trends may lead, ASEAN member states remain committed to support a transparent, free, fair, and inclusive rules-based multilateral trading system with the WTO at its core. So ladies and gentlemen, let me delve deeper into the AEC strategic plan. So this is, of course, the successor to the AEC Blueprint 2025. So the AEC strategic plan marks another key milestone towards ASEAN's deeper economic integration and sustainable growth. And as you notice, it's structured into five-year cycles until the year 2045. So it will keep ASEAN's policy current and keep the policies also updated, so we can be more responsive to the evolving trends than also the emerging challenges. So as the first installment of this long-term vision, the AEC Strategic Plan 2026 to 2030 serves as a roadmap, and in fact it's quite a comprehensive roadmap that outlines a clear clear plan that has been carefully developed to implement the economic aspects of the ASEAN Community Vision. This is the ASEAN Community Vision 2045. So when we look at benefits, I'm sure that the economic tangible benefits and opportunities provided by the plan will be explored today, and you have the panel discussions to discuss this further. But for now, I wish to briefly highlight some of Malaysia's perspectives on the AEC strategic plan. One, through the AEC strategic plan, ASEAN aspires to significantly enhance intra-ASEAN trade. This is by boosting interconnectedness of the single market for goods, services, and investments. So by further reducing persistent non-trade barriers, we can realize the fuller potential of intra-ASEAN trade. This is what will strengthen ASEAN's competitiveness and build greater resilience against external shocks. Two, the AEC strategic plan clearly demonstrates ASEAN's readiness to embrace transformation, enhance connectivity, and also promote innovation. This, of course, is anchored on the core principles of inclusivity and sustainability. This preparedness surely strengthens ASEAN's global positioning and attractiveness. So we are confident that ASEAN's efforts on, among others, manufacturing productivity, resource efficiency, green financing and investment, as well as energy security and sustainability will ensure that this region has the resilience to face future challenges and embrace golden opportunities. Number three, the AEC strategic plan emphasizes on establishing a forward-looking digital economic framework. This is expected to double ASEAN digital economy to reach $2 trillion by the year 2030. And number four, despite the isolationist policies by some part of the global economy, the AEC strategic plan strongly reinforces ASEAN's commitment to market openness and positive engagement with external parties, and especially our external partners. So ASEAN seeks to enhance engagement with not only traditional markets and established dialogue partners, but also new markets for our goods, services, and investments. So this will reduce over-dependence on selected economies, thereby strengthening ASEAN's macroeconomic resilience. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen from the video, given the diverse background and nationalities of today's attendees as well, I am confident that today's multi-stakeholder gathering represents the views from across the region. This platform, this dedicated platform, demonstrates ASEAN's continued efforts in promoting visibility and relevance of the AEC strategic plan. So as chair, we must also ensure that its aspirations are not just conceptual, but also very real, once realized and materialized for the benefit of ASEAN's businesses, for our industries, and of course, the population. On that note, I'd like to say well done to all of you who have made this event a success, and I look forward to seeing a fruitful outcome from today's sessions. So thank you very much.
So thank you. Opening remarks, please kindly remain on stage as I invite the other guests of honor to join the minister up on stage for the launch. So ladies and gentlemen, we will now move on to the official launch of the AEC Strategic Plan 2026-2030. So, Yang Berhormat Minister, if you're ready, you can place your hand onto the cube on my count. In 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, the AEC Strategic Plan 2026-2030. So thank you to Yang Berhormat Minister and to the other guests of honor. So if you could kindly step to the center stage for a photo session. Alright, so thank you, Excellencies, Yang Berhormat Minister, Yang Berhormat Deputy Minister, Your Excellency Anagapti and Dr. Zafarullah. May I kindly ask you to remain on stage for a second photo session, and all other esteemed guests may now return to your seats. Thank you. Alright, now I would like to invite the representatives from the ASEAN member states, including those who are involved in the AEC working group, to the stage for a commemorative photo to mark this meaningful occasion. We'll have one more photo session, sir. Alright, so thank you, Excellencies. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to return to your seats. Thank you very much for that session. And ladies and gentlemen, we have just witnessed the beginning of another extraordinary chapter in ASEAN's remarkable journey. So, let's join together in giving another heartfelt round of applause for this successful launch, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for coming today. And just as usual, in any press conference, you can just raise your hand if you would like to ask any questions, and please introduce yourself, where you're from, before asking your questions.
Baru upload lah. Macam mana takes time lah. Mana tahu saya kena tunggu connect. Ni. Dia tukar tempat. Takut dia protokol government servant dia.
Effect my.
Effect here.
Okay, Wali, are you all set? Alright, so without further ado, let us begin. Ladies and gentlemen, if anyone of you would like to begin.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Saya mula dengan bahasa Malaysia dulu. Pada pagi ini kita telah mengadakan acara socialization ataupun sosialisasi serantau bagi Plan Strategic Community ASEAN, Ekonomi ASEAN 2026 hingga 2030. Hari ini sebenarnya adalah satu pencapaian penting dalam usaha ASEAN untuk mengukuhkan integrasi ekonomi yang lebih mendalam, dan plan ini bertujuan untuk membina ASEAN yang berdaya tahan, inklusif dan lestari dalam tempoh 5 tahun yang akan datang. Jadi kita perlu membangunkan ASEAN secara mampan dengan daya saing global yang meningkat. So di sini kita telah akan membincangkan mengenai ASEAN yang akan terus kekal committed untuk memperkukuhkan perdagangan intra-ASEAN dan juga mengurangkan halangan yang bukan tarif ataupun non-tarif barriers. Kita nak juga meningkatkan kesaling hubungan serta mempromosi transformasi digital. Jadi semua ini akan memacu untuk menjadikan ASEAN sebagai ekonomi keempat terbesar di dunia menjelang 2030. Jadi apabila kita lihat ketidaktentuan dan ketegangan geopolitik global, ASEAN mempunyai asas-asas yang kukuh. Kita lihat kita ada tenaga muda, tenaga kerja muda, sumber alam dan persekitaran yang stabil. Ini insyaAllah akan terus memacu pertumbuhan dan menarik pelaburan. Dan plan ini juga memfokuskan antara lainnya pasaran-pasaran tradisional dan juga pasaran-pasaran baru, pembiayaan hijau dan inovasi. Dan ASEAN juga perlu terus menyesuaikan diri dan membina daya tahan dalam lanskap global yang sentiasa berubah. Jadi di sini kami di sini yakin kalau kita ada kerjasama serantau dan pelaksanaan pun lebih berdisiplin, masa depan ASEAN ini kekal cerah. Yang lebih penting, kita perlu memanfaatkan perniagaan, komuniti dan semua pihak berkepentingan di seluruh rantau ini. So, a very good morning. Today's regionalization event marks a significant milestone in ASEAN's journey towards deeper economic integration. We introduce and we want to socialize the ASEAN Economic Community Strategic Plan 2026 to 2030. We have a group of panelists here today to talk about the AAC Strategic Plan 2026-2030. So what does this plan aim to do? This plan aims to build a resilient, inclusive and also sustainable ASEAN over the next 5 years. We want to position ASEAN as a sustainable growth and group as a bloc, and we want to also increase ASEAN's global competitiveness. So we, of course, continue to remain committed to strengthening ASEAN's trade, especially intra-ASEAN trade, by reducing barriers, trade barriers, non-trade trade barriers as well. We want to enhance connectivity and then promoting digital transformation. So all this will help us propel towards becoming the 4th largest economic bloc by the year 2030. And despite the global uncertainties, the geopolitical tensions, we feel that ASEAN has the strong fundamentals, including a young workforce. We've got the right ingredients of a stable grouping, and we want to continue to drive growth and attractive investments and attract investments. So if we look at the plan, this plan also emphasizes the engagement with both traditional and new markets. Talk about green financing, we also talk about innovation. So we need to make sure that ASEAN remains adaptable and resilient in this global landscape, and the global landscape is ever evolving very fast. So we're confident that through this regional economic cooperation and focused implementation or disciplined implementation, ASEAN's future will be bright, benefiting businesses, communities, and stakeholders across the region. So that's my opening. So I open the floor to questions. Yeah.
Saya tadi dua soalan. First tentang intra-trade ASEAN, bagaimana AEC ini dia akan specifically address the non-barrier, non-tariff barrier, and the second one, negara ASEAN ni dia ada keupayaan ekonomi berbeza. So bagaimana nak memastikan equitable development across the region?
Ya, so soalan pertama, kalau kita lihat apa yang dalam 18 PED yang kita telah umumkan, ataupun 18 Priority Economic Deliverables, salah satu fokus adalah untuk kita meningkatkan perdagangan antara negara-negara ASEAN. Satu contoh ialah melalui penggunaan digital atau Digital Economic Framework Agreement (DEFA). Ini insyaAllah akan memberi peluang kepada syarikat-syarikat yang kecil juga, syarikat PKS dan PMKS untuk terlibat dalam sektor ekspor, meningkatkan boleh pasaran akses kepada pasaran baru lah melalui digital ataupun e-commerce. Dan keduanya, kita telah mengumumkan kita telah selesai rundingan untuk menaik taraf A3, the ASEAN Trade in Goods Agreement, dan kita akan menandatangani perjanjian ini semasa perjumpaan leaders kita pada bulan Oktober nanti, ya. Dan pada masa yang sama kita juga telah berbincang mengenai isu-isu yang untuk meningkatkan integrasi dari segi tenaga baru, the ASEAN grid, ya, ASEAN power grid, APG. So these are things that we are doing that we hope will reduce trade barriers, mengurangkan trade barriers, both tarif and also non-tarif barriers. And dari soalan kedua tu, ialah kita lihat dari segi KDNK per capita pun banyak beza di antara negara ASEAN. Itulah sebabnya penting kita bersikap open, terbuka dalam perundingan-rundingan ini. So we need to take into account the fact that some countries may not be ready to be as liberal in their policies. They need to protect also the domestic sensitivities. So this is where ASEAN centrality and ASEAN neutrality means a lot. So we're doing it in stages. I mean, in fact, A3 ni pun is a third upgrade. So and then so we give different countries a different timeline for transition. Yeah, commitment also is different. Similarly, we have also understand macam Timor-Leste. We want to support them to come in. And of course, they are at different stage. If you want them to sign up everything, they will never be a member. Right? For our pillar, we understand that. Of course, with the direction from the leaders, we are also very supportive, despite the challenges of them meeting the various ASEAN economic agreements.
Did you mention about that the ASEAN community will become fourth largest economy in the world by 2030? What is the current status on the GDP forecast for next year?
So next year, the presentation made by the ASEAN Economic Secretariat, of course today we're the fifth largest economic bloc. The assumption to get to the fourth largest economic bloc by the year 2030 is that ASEAN continues to grow at a pace of 4 to 5% growth in terms of GDP. This year, the projection growth is about 4.4% by the ASEAN Secretariat. Of course, that is subject to change. 4.7%. But that things are very dynamic, right? So it depends on, of course, the IMF World Bank also just reduced their forecast of global growth, and really depends on the global economic situation. But for today, I think the official numbers that when we had our last ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting, the targeted growth, forecasted growth for ASEAN for the year 2025 is 4.7%.
So is it achievable by the year end?
based on our economists looking at all the ASEAN economies projected growth, I think of course it's aggregate growth of all ASEAN economies. Based on today's assumption, yes. But tomorrow assumptions can change. Economic formulas are based on the variables that are factored into the formula.
Hazwan Bitarian, ada 3 soalan. First nak minta komen tentang semalam Maida umumkan jumlah pelaburan yang diuruskan untuk suku pertama. Nak minta komen sikit. And then jangkaan untuk tahun ni berapa? Ada peningkatan, perubahan apa semua? Yang kedua tentang semalam atau malam tadi Donald Trump kata rundingan dengan China dah selesai. So mungkin boleh komen juga situ kesan pada ekonomi kita. Dan ketiga yang 18 bulan ni kata YB akan ke Washington. Boleh kongsi sikit persediaan atau jangkaan dia untuk ke sana je. Thank you.
Okey, terima kasih. Mengenai pelaburan, kita telah mengumumkan pelaburan FDI sebanyak, bukan FDI dan DDI sebanyak hampir 90 bilion ringgit, lebih kurang 89 bilion ringgit. Ini menunjukkan peningkatan sebanyak 3.7% untuk suku pertama tahun ini berbanding dengan suku pertama tahun yang lepas. Dari segi pecahan pelaburan asing ialah hampir 70% daripada pelaburan yang masuk. Dan pada masa yang sama kita lihat sektor yang paling besar ialah sektor perkhidmatan, especially digital economy. Dan biasanya suku pertama ni memang lemah dia towards the end, decision are made more towards the end, so kita quite surprised by this number, of course pleasantly surprised. Cuma kita also bila nak membuat forecast ni agak susah kerana dalam perbincangan kita dengan syarikat-syarikat yang ingin melabur, mereka juga ada banyak wait and see attitude kerana situasi yang dinamik di geopolitik, terutama di Amerika Syarikat dan antara Amerika Syarikat dengan China. So we are looking at our GDP growth this year still maintaining at where it is today. I mean, Bank Negara has not changed that. So we always look at growth in tandem with the GDP growth for that. Cuma I just want to caution that expectation for investments is not going to be so easy to do the forecast going forward. Kerana bila kita ada sesi libat urus dengan syarikat-syarikat, mereka semua, kita pun faham. Jadi pada masa yang sama, apa yang kita dapat lihat ialah syarikat-syarikat yang melabur dalam Malaysia tak ada yang mengatakan dia akan keluar lah. That's the positive. Tapi syarikat yang baru yang nak masuk, dia nak lihat situasi global dulu. Yang mana yang ada masa lah, yang mana yang sudah commit, mereka tak ada cancellation. So what I'm saying is, the one that is already in Malaysia continue to be in Malaysia. Yang mana dah commit hari itu, tak ada yang pull out. Tapi yang belum commit tu now thinking. And rundingan US China, of course kita sebagai pemerhati, we watch this positively lah, okay? Because it has been moving from Geneva and now to London, and things are showing progress and in the right direction. So kita berharap situasi ini akan membantu ekonomi global juga, kerana kita sebagai rakan dagang kepada kedua-dua negara, we will have the positive spillover if these two countries can do more together. So on the question yang going to the US, yes, I'm going dengan our chief negotiator sebelah kiri ni. Negotiation is ongoing sebenarnya secara maya lah, secara online, but physical meeting will have to happen lah. Dan saya akan berjumpa dengan pada masa ini my counterpart lah, the US Trade Representative, Jameson Greer, pada hari Rabu depan 18 insyaAllah. Kalau Puan Mastura selesaikan banyak, sedikit lah kerja saya. Tapi but it's not going to be easy lah. That's what I'm saying. But what's important is we need to show that Malaysia and US punya relationship in terms of trade and investment is complementary. We are not costing or competing against the US.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have room for a couple more questions.
Okay, thank you.
You said June 18, right? You'll be heading to the States?
Wednesday, I think it's June 18.
Right? So what would you hope to achieve? And like Puan Mastura that. How was it? In early June?
Virtual, she did virtually. Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
It
is it
says
virtual?
postponed.
Postponed also. The physical one postponed to this.
Your trade, what would you like to achieve? And secondly, you think DEFA can be signed during the summit?
Wow. You know something I don't know. So the DEFA, the Digital Economic Framework Agreement, we are, I'll be calling for a meeting. Of course, the country coordinator is Thailand. So they've asked for me to call for a special meeting, a ministerial meeting, and that will happen in end of July in Bangkok, because as the country that is coordinating this, we want to make sure that it's on track. So it requires a physical meeting and at ministerial level. I think the senior officials have been working very hard on this. So I'm still optimistic that we need to substantially conclude this because it's one of the PEDs for this year. So again, we must make sure that it's substantially concluded. That's why we call for this meeting in end of July. And the first question is on the what do I expect from this meeting with US next week. Well, firstly, it's important that we continue to engage. We have got new so-called numbers and from our side to understand a bit deeper on the interlinkages of our economy in terms of trade and investment. Like I said in my answer earlier, a lot of things that we do are actually strengthening and complementing US businesses in US, not just US businesses in Malaysia. So it is a win-win relationship. But of course, the second point is we also want to make sure that our local companies who are exporters to the US, especially in sectors like furniture, sectors like palm oil, on the downstream, also been taken into account. That fact that we can actually sectors that are not really in competition as well with it. And the final one, I think, the third point I wanted to share is, we have done to ensure what we've done is to ensure that there's no Malaysia is not being used as a point where
people want to circumvent.
Yeah, the trade is diverting through Malaysia from certain countries into the US. So that's why, for example, we have taken over the NPCO, the issuance of the certificate of origin. Used to be done by others, by our chambers, but today it's done by our ministry, for example. So we're strengthening and ensuring that enforcement is also being tightened up.
So you're negotiating carve-outs from certain sectors in Malaysia?
Yeah, I mean, the negotiation is basically to make sure that, as you know, there is a floor that they've already said that looks like non-negotiable, which is the 10%. Malaysia has been imposed a tariff of 24%. So of course, the first target is to reduce that, right? Second target is there are sectors that we feel should be even going below that 10%. So maybe we have to look at those sectors carefully. Sectors that are important for Malaysian exporters and sectors that are also important for the US economy. We need to show that, why it's important. And we want to negotiate that further to go below that floor of 10% for certain sectors that is important to Malaysia and the US.
So for DEFA, October summit is too much, too fast, the deadline?
No, we have to stick to the deadline.
We're going to get it signed?
Well,
signing,
substantial conclusion. Yeah. The PD has always been substantial conclusion.
The signing, the domestic process.
Yeah, so that's why. Well, we'll see. That one, we have to ask Philippines when they chair. Not fair to commit on their behalf. Yeah. But like I said, we look at it seriously, and at the pace that we're going, we feel that more can be done. Therefore, that's why there's intervention from the ministers. Required the intervention from the ministers, so I've called for a meeting. You are from which country, the media? Ah, okay. Right. Are you trying to put?
They have different concepts.
Yeah, okay. She's more diplomatic.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for today. Thank you.
Oh, tadi soalan politik. So, thank you. Thank you for not asking political questions. Bagilah ada soalan. Kenapa nak cepat habis ni? Surya, bagi Chan.
One more.
Kesian lah. Surya. Ya.
Can you clarify, can you clear the air? Once your senatorship ends, what are you planning to do even now? What are your plans?
What are my plans? My plans now is to complete my senatorship. As I mentioned, I think you can refer to the statement that I made very clearly in my social media platforms, right? I think one is I made it clear that I will focus on the job at hand. There's a lot of work to be done here, as you know. Number two is I will leave it to the Prime Minister on my role as Minister, but I intend to continue to contribute towards my role here in MITI. And the third one is, of course, I've also mentioned that I intend to complete my senatorship, which ends in December. And the fourth that I mentioned is many times. I mentioned it even before I resigned from UMNO, that I have no intention to participate in any by-elections, right? I don't know why people like yourself keep asking the same questions. But I never said I wanted to. These are all mere speculation, and I'm denying it. The fact that even this decision of me resigning has nothing to do with me wanting to be a part of another role in the government, right? Be minister or Menteri Besar. No, I'm talking about the political position in either the Dewan Undangan Negeri or Dewan Rakyat lah. So that's not true, and I mentioned it even before I resigned, and I mentioned it in my statement. Role after my minister, of course, I have not thought about it because so much things to focus on today and work that I have to focus on today. But my intention is after December is to continue to contribute in any way. It doesn't have to be a position in government even. I mean, you can contribute to the government, to the country in many ways, right? So to me that's important. But politically, I will want to continue to serve the country, and I've said it before that I've stated my intention to join PKR. Thank you.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen,
can answer.
Once again, that's all the time that we have today. So thank you to our ministers, our TKSUs, and also Dr. Zaf for being here today. And ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, we have refreshments for you, so please have yourselves at the lodge area in the hall, ladies and gentlemen.